And we are live. Welcome, everybody, to the NBA Strategy Show, Thursday, December 4th. I'm Josh Engleman, here to break down 5 basketball games. Very easy today. Not a lot going on. Warriors, Sixers, Celtics, Wizards, Jazz, Nets, Lakers, Raptors, sneaky fun. Too many guys out, though. No Luka, no Jakob Poeltl, no RJ Barrett. And then Wolves, Pels. I guess the main event is Warriors, Sixers, but that's got its own problems. 2 games with sub 230 totals. Yikes. So I got all of my I bought a standing desk over the Black Friday set. So I started putting that together last night. I got all my stuff plugged in and ready to go for this show at 8:58. We got real lucky. It was dangerous. There is crap everywhere in my office right now. But whatever. We're here now. So, Prince, for once, I agree. Hawks were a major letdown. Yeah, considering Mo Gay was my most exposed player, that went quite poorly. That got frustrating. I got destroyed yesterday. Not that I'm surprised. Where is it hiding? There we go. So I was happy pre-lock. Played 150 lineups, 30 sim ROI. You see like Tom and Steve, Greg, 50s to 80s, but positive. Happy to be there. Works for me. And I was a little bit more contrarian as well, but boy, oh boy, did that not work out. I had 75% Mo Gay. If I could do it again, I would do it again. I didn't have a ton of AD, which I don't regret, but whatever. Dosunmu was not great. I did have a bunch of clacks, which was awesome, but Okongwu, no. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, no. If we're just talking about the guys that I had big stands on. I had Giddey. I don't hate it, but he wasn't the dude, obviously. 20% of LaMelo worked out finally. That's nice. Didn't matter. Okongwu was awful. Jalen Duren was awful. But I wasn't going to win a damn thing if Mo Gay is going to be 75% of my lineups and have a game like he did. Yeah, Jamal Murray couldn't miss, which was not helpful. Yeah, Mo Gay, 23 minutes, 0 for 2 from the field, 6 rebounds and a steal. I like Mo Gay too. That's the worst part. Like, I wasn't even mad. I would do that 100 times out of 100. And he was just useless. Useless. What was the winning lineup? Yeah, I can get to it quick. Oh, well, I don't know why I'm going to it like this. I have it right in front of me. Winning lineup was Nembhard, Anthony Black, Kawhi, Evan Mobley, Reynaud, Monk, Towns, Kamara. Which, like Nembhard, cool. You get it. Obviously had some high minutes variance. Anthony Black, I mean, like, there's no scenario where I was going to look at Anthony Black yesterday and think, like, I should have a bunch of him. I did have a bunch of Kawhi. Not that I liked him, but here's a fun one. Sim ROI on the winning lineup, negative 81. That's DFS for you. Mobley wasn't a priority, but you're not surprised. Reynad, after getting 100 questions about it yesterday, still becomes a good value. I have to assume he was completely unowned other than swaps. Yeah, 0.9%. Monk obviously makes some sense after the Schroeder news. Towns can always do it. And then Kamara, sure. But yeah, negative 80 sim ROI for that one, pre-lock. That's DFS. Projected for 244. Ends up with 356. Just think about that. The 8 guys in his lineup outperformed their pre-lock projection by 120 points. That's every single dude for like 13. Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy. Today is not a great slate. Just because, like, Warriors Sixers, but, no Steph, no Embiid, probably. You never know with these guys. They just got fined $100,000 for saying he was out and then playing him, so who knows? Boston and the Wizards, no Jaylen Brown for Boston, no Alex Sarr for the Wizards, and they stink. The Jazz stink. The Nets stink. The Lakers don't have Luka. The Raptors don't have RJ Barrett or Jakob Poeltl. That's good for DFS, but not good for wanting to watch a basketball game. And then Minnesota and the Pels. The Pels stink. And they don't have Zion now. So we've got a turd of a slate to look through. But on those days, I think the variance is a little bit higher. And if you're good, and you're using our sims, you're going to put yourself in a better spot. So let's take a peek. Shall we? Golden State Warriors. By the way, this means nothing to you guys, but you're here with me every morning. I'm very happy with this desk so far. Maybe I'll come back and say that I hate it, but I've had my previous desk since, I don't know, basically since I started doing this content, 8 years, whatever, 7 years. And it was too high for me by like a hair. But the way that I had my monitor set up was too low, and I just wasn't in the right shape. Now, perfect height, monitor arm, perfect height, and I can stand up when I'm not on shows. I know it's little. I don't know why I haven't done this for years. It's not like there was anything stopping me. I'm a big, I can't buy things when I don't need them guy. Like, I could use the same shit forever, unless it's legitimate technology. Like, I would never buy another belt again if it wasn't for having a wife. All right, let's talk about Golden State. Warriors, 3.5-point dogs in Philly, 223 total. Clearly, we're in no position to talk about this game right now. Jimmy Butler questionable, Quentin Post questionable, Kuminga questionable, Horford questionable, Curry out. And then the big one, DeAnthony Melton is back? Allegedly? Not on the injury report? That feels like more of a mistake than anything else, but that's good for Golden State. I mean, he's never going to be healthy, but when he is, he's awesome. So, for this game, there's nothing we can do here. What if all 4 of those guys are out? And we're jamming Seth Curry and Guy Santos and John Cryer's son, LJ. Brandon, I would phrase that slightly. I would say that DeAnthony Melton has the opportunity to play today. I wouldn't rule out him getting injured before 7 p.m. So, you never know with him. But as they stand right now, this is what we're looking at. Now on the Philly side, Q-tag Paul George, Q-tag Quentin Grimes, Embiid is doubtful. We still don't have Oubre. We still don't have Trendon Watford. So, like, this one is live to change. Because obviously this looks so different if Paul George and Quentin Grimes don't play. But if they do, it's a completely different game. Prince, you can't play DeAnthony Melton today. If he plays more than 12 minutes, it would blow my mind. But, you know, as always, trust nothing. It's Steve Kerr. Maybe he'll play 30 and then never play again. We didn't have Grimes last time out. We did have George. This whole game is up in the air. Like, there's nothing we can do in this situation. So let's look at the ownership, at least to start the day. And I don't know about you guys, but this should make perfect sense. 16% to Maxey. Everybody else below 10. Now that's not, well, this could be what we see by the time we get to lock. But there's like 150 to 200 minutes that are questionable right now on both sides. See, Coach Chris, but we might have to. I agree, we don't care about it now. But like, what if I tell you that Paul George, Jimmy Butler, Quentin Grimes, Al Horford, and Quentin Post all don't play? Now it's like the best game on the slate. Way off topic. You think Giannis' injury is real or fake? It's 100% real. Real. Full stop, 100% real. Trey, ask yourself this. Why would it be fake? Who does it benefit for him to fake an injury? It's not like you have to have Giannis out there to showcase him. He could blow out his ACL right now and nothing would change. No, it's real. Not a soul in that scenario wants that to happen. I'm just happy it wasn't worse than it was. I hope. That was scary. Yeah, Trey, there's just not that kind of guy, and two, no incentive to do it. I have very little doubt if they needed to like craft injuries for Giannis, there's plenty wrong in his body that they could talk about. Oh, Trey, you're good. There's 5 games today. The whole show is going to be derailed. I don't know if you're here all the time, but I will derail one way or the other. Whoever buys Giannis will regret it. Dude will be Embiid in no time. I mean, I disagree with your logic to it, but I also am nervous about the trade. Chris, I don't have one. To call him Embiid is just like, that's a wild comp. They're not. That's super disrespectful to Giannis. That said, with the way that the cap works now, like, it's going to take a really interesting trade to not like aggressively negatively impact you moving forward. I don't know where he's going to go. Look, screw it. We have 45 minutes. I'm bored. This slate stinks. Let's have a 5 to 10 minute Giannis conversation. If you're listening to this on the podcast feed and you don't care about this, assume that like 5 minutes from now I'm talking about the slate. I legitimately don't know where he goes. Truly. Let's talk about all the logical spots. Like the Thunder shouldn't do it, won't do it, but can do it. But like, the only way the Thunder should do it is if they want to go the dumb way or like the smart way. And the Bucks are willing to do it for like Hartenstein and Dort. I think the Pistons make some sense, but I don't know how you make it work. Not to mention, I don't know, like, Of all the teams, I think Milwaukee hangs up on Detroit first. I don't think the Raptors have enough. I don't know why Giannis would want to go there. Like, if we want to think about, he certainly wants to win if he's making this move. And he likely wants to go to a place that you'd want to be. So I don't think it's OKC. I think it could be Detroit. I just don't think they could do it. I can't say no to the Lakers because everybody could just throw the Luka trade in my face, but I don't know how they ever do it. I don't know how the Knicks do it. The Spurs obviously make a boatload of sense. That's what I would do. But I would also be wanting to trade Steph, Castle, and Fox. So, conversation for a different day. Denver's impossible. To me, Miami's impossible. There's a conversation around Orlando, but they're not going to be the ones. I think the Cavs could be sneaky. I also don't think they're going to be the ones that do it. He would be great for Minnesota. They can't do it, I don't think. Houston obviously makes a boatload of sense. And then after that, I don't know where it would be. Like, realistically, Boston can do it. Not what I expect. The Hawks can do it. I don't know why Giannis would want that. And then I don't see another team on that list that I think would be reasonable. The only one that I would suggest would be Portland, but there's too much turmoil there. I don't know where. I legitimately don't know where it is in season. That's my problem. Because in season complicates everything. Because you have to worry about aprons, the amount of money that people can take back. You don't have the 3 extra roster spots like you do in the summer. I just don't know how this happens during the season. If it does, I think whatever team trades for him is going to look like they lost the trade by a mile. Steven, it's either going to be one of two things. They either want a bunch of picks or they want to get their own picks back. And that is a bigger conversation. I mean, I think the Spurs make the most sense by a mile because they have the assets and the contracts to do it. Like, if you want it to be the Bucks and Spurs. Obviously, the pick part is easy. If it's me, I'm shipping out Castle. Realistically, you're probably sending out Barnes, Keldon Johnson. Like, you'd like it to be Fox. But technically, Giannis for Castle, Johnson, Barnes works financially. You want that to be Sohan. You want that to be Kelly Olynyk. I think all of that, like, they have more than enough different salaries to make this work and not affect the team. My goal would be to get rid of Castle. My real goal would be to get rid of Fox, but that's a conversation. That's a different conversation. But I would be trying to get rid of Fox in that. I just don't see it. You can't see him and Wemby playing together effectively. Did you close your eyes, Sir Manning? I can't think of two guys that fit next to each other better. They could both guard the 4. They could both guard the 5. Like, Wemby can space. Defensively, no one will ever score again. I don't know. Something like this with all the picks and stuff. Fox, Vassell. Insert somebody here. Wemby, Giannis. Yeah, I'm in. Giannis needs the ball too much. What do you think De'Aaron Fox is? Would you rather have De'Aaron Fox have the ball with Wemby or Giannis? Just out of curiosity. This should be pretty obvious. The answer is Giannis by a mile. Everybody needs the ball, man. You don't think Jamal Murray needs the ball? Jalen Williams needs the ball with SGA. They're all right. And then they still have Chet. Somebody's got to shoot. Yeah, now, to me, Castle's the guy you want to get rid of there, especially if the goal is Giannis. Because Castle's never going to be able to shoot. Jake, the Knicks are not going to get Giannis Antetokounmpo. We don't even have to have that conversation. If we do, it's going to look like the Luka trade. It's just going to look like they didn't get shopped. Listen to you think that De'Aaron Fox is going to be like a 22% usage guy with Wemby back? No. No, if you would rather have De'Aaron Fox than Victor Wembanyama, I don't know what to tell you. Or than Giannis, I don't know what to tell you here. I can't think of a better combination than Giannis and Wemby if you want to try to end scoring and still be amazing. Look, if he goes to the Knicks, it's not going to be because we said it was the best deal. Do I read the news from reporters? Almost exclusively, no. Why would I do that? Here's my question, Jake. Who do you think gave that news to them? Is it Giannis's camp? Is it Milwaukee's camp? You could usually read between the tea leaves. Who's the agent for the player? Is that agent in bed with Shams? Is that agent in bed with insert other reporter here? You're going to see different reports for Shams for CAA clients compared to different reports from Shams for, let's say, clutch clients. Now, if Shams says something, I'm going to read it, figure out who gave it to him, and then I'll put some value into it. Do I think that Giannis wants to go to the Knicks? Yes. Do I think that the Knicks have the ability to get Giannis? No. You can want to go anywhere you want, but they got to have the right salaries and assets. And there are 20 teams that have more assets right now than the New York Knicks do. Yeah, do they want to give up OG Anunoby and Towns? Sure, they can get that done. Okay. Goodbye. I gotta get rid of you permanently. So the Knicks are hard capped at the second apron. They can't aggregate salaries. They can't take more than they send back. You're dead in the water here. They can't trade Towns for Giannis because Giannis makes $1 million more. Now, you can get there in really weird ways, but because of where the Knicks are, it's close to impossible to build a real deal here. And that concludes my Giannis Antetokounmpo TED Talk. You realize if he goes to the Spurs, it would be tough to compete in the Western Conference. Are you advocating for the other teams in the West? Should the Spurs not do that? Because I don't know what the point is there. Okay, so we looked at the first game of Warriors-Sixers. We're well aware that was about 10 minutes too. Perfect. We're well aware that there are 100 Q tags here. So let's go ahead. Oh, Jason. Yo. Don't get me started on that one. I didn't talk about it. Asar Thompson grabbing 3 rebounds in a 2-minute flurry late in the fourth to ruin your boosted parlay on tails. Yeah. So I went upstairs and I was wrapping up my night. And I was like, oh, Asar has 3 boards. Like, yo, this is going to win. I'm already thinking about like tweeting it out and being like, yo, hope everybody tailed, whatever. I open it back up again. Well, first I open it up and I go to Houston and I see that Amen Thompson had like 13. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? He had 3. And then I was like, oh, wrong Thompson. And then I pulled it back up and he had 6. And I was like, was that line 5.5 or 6.5? Because I couldn't remember. And then I went back and looked at the logs and he got 3 rebounds in like 90 seconds. Ooh. Where do I think MPJ would get traded? That's a good question. I haven't thought about him. Somebody should try to get him. So, extension eligible, 1 more year at 40. He's just so overpaid. Where would he fit? Like, I mean, Toronto could use him in the biggest way possible. But that doesn't strike me as something they're going to do. I mean, Philly could use him, but that's impossible. I don't know. I don't really have a natural landing spot. Travis, there's no way for him to go to the Bucks. Toronto has 1 million wings already. Yeah, none of them can shoot. None of them can shoot. He'd be the only guy on the team that can do that. Anyway, game 2. Boston, Washington. So, interesting piece here. Jaylen Brown, doubtful. We haven't really seen that. So, we're looking at Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, Sam Hauser, Jordan Walsh, Neemias Queta. We should expect a bunch more minutes out of Hauser. Anthony Simons should be able to see a bit more playing time. And then I think they'll just fill it out a bit more with like Minot, Shireman, Hugo Gonzalez. But obviously, usage bumps for Derek White, for Peyton Pritchard, for Simons. This is going to make them look a little bit better, especially because they get to face the Wizards. Think about this. No Tatum, no Brown, still 9.5 point favorites. That's how bad the Wizards are. And that's why we're betting on Boston to win the East. Keep the theme alive. On the Wizards side, no Sar. Bilal Coulibaly is going to be out for a couple weeks, apparently. Corey Kispert already out. So we're looking at a CJ McCollum, Chris Middleton, Justin Champagnie, Keyshawn George, Marvin Bagley sitch for today. So we're going right back to it. Now, if we look at this game, this will not be surprising. 60% ownership to Derek White. 60% ownership to Peyton Pritchard. 50% ownership to a $3,900 Sam Hauser. Kate is 35. Simons is 25. Even Walsh and Minot are close to 20. The only guy getting any real love from the Wizards side is Bagley. He's up to 5K now. Tristan Vukcevic is at 4K, so we still have a little bit of value there. And I think you could roll the dice on your McCollums and your Keyshawn Georges. But it should be pretty obvious that we're unloading a full barrel on Derek White and Peyton Pritchard. And I doubt you guys are going to be surprised there. If we look at just the optimal table here, Derek White, most optimal play of the day. Austin Reeves is second, no Luka. Then it's Pritchard, it's Hauser. Mamu comes in at the number 5 spot. No Jakob Poeltl, we're going to get there. MPJ shows up, 8,400, small forward, great matchup. More Boston, LeBron James. And then Nick Claxton again, 6,600, looking good like he did yesterday. That's a lot of Boston. It's a lot of Boston. And, like, what else would you do? The matchup is perfect. Everybody gets to shoot more. No one's priced to have Jaylen Brown out. So what do you guys want to do here with Boston? Realistically, White, Pritchard, Cada, Hauser, Simons. Anything you don't like in that group. And this is going with the assumption that Sam Hauser's starting. Realistically, it could be somebody else. But you got to fill like 35 Jaylen Brown minutes. So everybody's getting a chunk of time. It's not like Derek White and Peyton Pritchard are getting more playing time. So it's got to come from somewhere. But yeah, any one of those guys looks good to me. Obviously, Hauser just is the easiest guy to get to. I think I prefer White the most because of the MPE. Then Hauser. And then, honestly, like Josh Minot at 3,800, I find kind of interesting. Especially if he's going to be, like, relatively low owned. I think Josh Minot's going to step into a little bit more than normal. And that value will be pretty appealing. And then, obviously, like, Anthony Simons is just a wild card. He could do just about anything today, and I'd believe it. But the Wizard side of this one does not look good. Now we get to Utah and Brooklyn. Ugh. All right, so for Utah, Nurkic is questionable. That will be important. No Kevin Love for this one. They've really, like, dialed in their rotation now. They don't really mess around too much. We get pretty consistent minutes out of the Utah guys. They're on the front end of a back-to-back. They've got the Knicks tomorrow. The Nets are on the back half of a back-to-back. They actually beat the Bulls yesterday. So we don't have an injury report for Brooklyn. So at this moment, we don't really know what they're doing. It's certainly possible some of these guys are out. We don't know that yet. So as we look at the game, 30% ownership to Michael Porter Jr., I think that should make all the sense in the world. 8,400, small forward position, shoots the shit out of the ball, and is absolutely going to do that today. So, yes. Claxton, 6,600. I loved him yesterday. I like him, like, realistically, it's even better than it was yesterday. I mean, Chicago's also a good matchup, but why wouldn't you want Claxton here against the Jazz? Then you get this pack of Jazz dudes that are minimally owned. Filipowski, 4,800, power forward center. Looks like a good play whether Nurkic plays or not. But if Nurkic does not play, I think we're going to like Kyle Filipowski even more than we do currently. I think Markkanen's fine at 8,200. Kind of like pairing him with MPJ if you want to go that direction. Keontae George is fine as a 5% owned, like, wild card. I don't really want to go too far down the list here, though. Like, to me, it's pretty clearly MPJ 1, Claxton 2, Filipowski 3, everybody else 4. I don't have much to say about this game. Like, I think it's really cut and dry here. But if Nurk doesn't play, we'll get something kind of tasty for Utah at the very least. And against Brooklyn, you expect these guys, like, there's no reason we don't expect Lauri Markkanen to play 35 minutes today. Keontae George could play like 33 today in a competitive spot. Now we'll talk to another game that's missing some people. Lakers, 2.5-point dogs in Toronto, front end of a back-to-back. They've got the Celtics tomorrow in Boston. No Luka. Obviously no Marcus Smart, but Luka Doncic out for the birth of his second child. I'm going to go ahead and say right now, I don't remember him having the first, but saw a picture of him and what I assume is the mother of his children, and I would just like to say to Luka, congratulations. We are expecting Gabe Vincent, Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, LeBron James, and DeAndre Ayton. Jake LaRavia should see a pretty decent chunk of minutes increase. Connect, Hayes, Kleba, all involved. We either see a real big congregation of minutes and they consolidate rotation, or we'll probably see a little bit of either Bronny or Nick Smith. But it's not just the Lakers today. Ochai Agbaji is out. That happened while we were on the show. Jakob Poeltl out. RJ Barrett still out. So we're looking at Quickly, Walter, Ingram, Barnes, Mamukelashvili. Jonathan Mobo is available, so I assume that he and Colin Murray-Boyles will be like the backup centers. But great spot for Mamu. That shouldn't be all that surprising. And that's what we're seeing here in the boom bust table. Austin Reeves, 50% owned, 60% optimal. He's 8,300 without Luka. One of the easier names you're going to click on. Looks awesome. Sandro Mamukelashvili is 4,500. 39% owned. Power forward center eligible. So yeah, we get Mamu stepping into a center role. He can play upwards of 30 minutes and it wouldn't be surprising. And you get to roster him at power forward. He might be my favorite play of the day. I think LeBron's obviously very interesting at 8,500 with no Luka, 25% owned. And then you get this pack of 10 that gets scary. Barnes, Quickly, Jamal Shed for value, Ayton, Brandon Ingram. All those guys seem very reasonable to me. I think Ayton stands out as a nice wild card play. I'm rarely confident in the three Raptors guys. I would sprain my tongue if I tried to say anything other than Mamu. It's an MMA thing. I just see those names differently now. Okay to play Murray Boyles with Mamu? Yeah. Any chance Boyles starts? He has in the past. I'd be surprised, but it's certainly not a 0% chance to me. But I don't know why they wouldn't go to Mamu there. Mamu's good. Like, actually good. Colin Murray-Boyles stinks. But, you know, that doesn't matter. But the last time that Jakob Poeltl, well, the second to last time that Jakob Poeltl was out, Mamu got the start. They started Jamison Battle the most recent time for reasons I'm not entirely sure of. In that game, we got 27 minutes out of Mamu. We got 27 in the start as well. So I don't know how you get away from Mamu. I think he's one of the easiest clicks of the day. But I don't know how to pick out of the rest of the Toronto guys, which shouldn't be surprising. Do I think LaRavia starts? I don't, but he can. I think it's Gabe Vincent. It just makes more sense. But it certainly could be LaRavia. I don't think that fits as well. I think LaRavia still plays like 6 or 7 minutes more than he typically does, but I don't think he starts. So we're on to the final game, the 8 p.m. late night hammer. Minnesota, 11-point favorites in New Orleans. They just beat New Orleans 2 days ago, and we should probably expect them to beat New Orleans again today. Same as usual for Minnesota. No rotational changes. No injury news. It's just the same Minnesota team we always get. And then on the Pelicans side, Karlo Makovic is questionable. No Zion, no Yves Missi, no Jordan Poole, no Herb Jones. No real talent on this team outside of Trey Murphy. I mean, it's just, they're not good. Karlo Makovic has missed the last 8. There's not a ton of ownership coming in here. And the ownership that is coming in, it's all Minnesota. The top 6 guys in ownership. 18 to Randall, 18 to McDaniels, 12 to Reed, 11 to Ant, 10 to Rudy Gobert, 9 to Dante DiVincenzo. The first Pelican to show up in ownership is Sadiq Bey at 8. And Sadiq Bey is fine. Derek Queen at 6,600, fine. Probably the guy I would want, but not a great spot. Trey Murphy, 7,500, shooting guard. If they're going to have a chance to win the game, it's probably him, but I got a real difficult time wanting to pick the New Orleans Pelicans today. No Queen slander. He's not any good right now. I'm excited to see what he can become, but right now he's not any good. The whole team's not any good. Let's look at Derek Queen. Negative 1.4 offensive EPM, negative 2.1 defensive EPM. That's second percentile. Negative 3.5 overall. That is 11th percentile. Yeah, I mean, it's exciting for future Queen. Current Queen? Not very good. That's okay. You're not supposed to be good as a rookie. Now, he is 21, so deal with that however you want. But certainly a guy I'd like to take some shots on. Definitely not a guy I would trade the number 1 pick in the draft for. Way to go, Pels. Let's hit the schedule for the rest of the day before we wrap this bad boy up, because this is not a slate I have a ton to talk about. Greg Ehrenberg, if you posted the schedule, you have not. So I'm going to guess that the schedule for the rest of the day, there may or may not be an NHL strategy show in the middle of the day. NFL strategy show coming up next, Thursday night football. Who the hell plays tonight? Ooh, Cowboys Lions tonight? All right, that's fun. Perfect lineup coming out too. NFL strategy show coming up next. No deeper dive tonight because it's Thursday, so you're going to get live before lock. I would assume myself and Eric, but I don't know that for sure. We'll be at 6. And then NFL live before lock tonight at 7:15. That's a fun game, though, tonight. But tonight, we are staring at a situation where we are going to play a ton of Boston, a ton of Austin Reeves, and Mamu, and MPJ. And after that, we got to wait because we don't know what we're going to get out of Golden State. We don't know what we're going to get out of Philly. And Brooklyn could put out an injury report that completely changes this slate as well. But that's where we are for today on this lovely 5-gamer. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you very much. I'll have DK Contenders out later today. Check it out on Twitter. It's going to go up on Tails, so make sure you're following it there. As I tell you guys every other day, download the Tails app. The link is in the description of the video or the podcast. We're going to just get everything together for you when it comes to sports betting, pick'em sites, DFS. It's all already consolidated information ready to go. This is totally free. It costs you nothing. You don't ever have to spend a cent on Tails if you don't want to. But the app will help you out for whatever you're looking for on the NBA side, on the NFL side, on the soccer side, the hockey side, the baseball side, the every side. We're crushing every sport there. So come download it. Alrighty, everybody. Good luck tonight. Enjoy the 5 days. I'll see you later tonight, 6 p.m., breaking down all 5 of these games once again, live before lock.